All right, all right. Welcome back to the Let's Stay Together show. If you missed the first hour, I'm telling you, you missed some awesome information, a tearjerker, an awesome young lady with a passion about suicide. Sherrie has been on there. Baby, give us a little, look, baby, give us a little bit more information about Sherrie, so they can know about who she is, and then we're gonna have her talk about the special project that she's working on.
Okay, now we have the lovely Miss Sherrie Gearheart on our show tonight. We're talking about suicide awareness, and she is the founder and president of Live Out Loud Charity. Now, this is a non-for-profit organization, but this young lady is on the move all the way, hopefully, to Africa.
Yes, thank you. So we are planning a trip to Liberia. It is the fourth worst country in the world. It was struck by Ebola. They went through the Ebola crisis, and they had the civil war there for many years, and so the suicide rate is at all-time high of 55% of the country. And I'll be going there as founder of Live Out Loud Charity and as Miss United Nations to implement suicide prevention in over 14 schools through the Change Agent Network, which is a nonprofit based in Texas, founded by a Liberian. And I'll also be going to support the Bill Rogers Youth Foundation. And the way this came about was fashion designer Kim Murray, who's originally from Liberia, had posted a photo. She donated clothing to the children in poor villages in Liberia, and I saw the need in the children's eyes. I didn't know that Liberia had a high rate of suicide. I didn't know the troubles they had faced in West Africa with the Ebola crisis. All I knew was I saw the need. And so I reached out and I wanted to support, and through going to Texas 2 times in 1 month, I learned all these statistics. I heard the people's cries. I saw the videos of the loved ones they had lost to Ebola, the pain, the depression they had went through. And my heart was just moved so greatly that we're getting ready to go there, and the plane ticket alone is $3,000.
Is that one way?
That's round trip, fortunately, but it's still a lot. So
yes,
being
it is.
a grassroots organization, all of the things that we do are for free. When we speak in schools, when we speak to social groups and educate the public, we really need the support. If people are interested in supporting our project for Africa, they can donate at liveoutloudcharity.org. We definitely need the support of everyone, and this will not only save lives, but it's going to build a new nation. That's what Change Agent Network is all about, is rebuilding Liberia to become a stronger nation. And I do want to say this. When I went to the second gala for Change Agent Network in Texas, I met a man who's been all over CNN, he's been all over Fox News because he's a psychologist, and he goes there now specifically for suicide prevention. There's no grief counseling there. There's no counseling resources there. It's a very poor country. In 2 weeks' time, now this is going to hit home with you, Reverend Rick, in 2 weeks' time, the 2 pastors took their life in 1 week.
Wow.
A third pastor
Ooh.
took his life in the second week. In 2 weeks' time, he counseled 26 people. And he asked them, how many people did you lose? How many loved ones did you lose to Ebola? The lowest number written down on the sheet of paper out of 26 people, the lowest number was 6 family members.
Wow.
6 family members. So
Yeah.
you can imagine the devastation.
Yeah.
And schools were shut down for a year. Everybody was quarantined. Nobody could work. You can imagine how poor the country is. So going there, as you can see this beautiful crown, or hopefully you've seen on Facebook if you're listening, this crown brings hope. I've gone to third world countries before, and it brings hope and joy. And I'm there to not only bring joy, but to bring education.
You know, Sherrie, it's awesome. So I'm going to ask you this: how did you tell them how they can donate to you?
LiveOutLoudCharity.org. We do have a donation button there.
Yeah.
Any amount is greatly appreciated, or any checks or money orders to Live Out Loud Charity, specifically for Liberia. They can write Africa on.
Okay.
on the-
And then Let's Stay Together show will definitely donate to the cause as well.
Thank you.
Sherrie, now we're talking about the United States and the rate of suicide.
Yes.
But now you're going to Liberia, where, I mean, it's just going there and the things that they're going through with Ebola and not having the right, the sufficient medicine, and it's a country that's very poor, and they
Yes.
don't have all of the resources that we do in the United States. That in itself can be depressing.
Yes.
How do you, and you said that some, even some preachers went there and they couldn't handle the situation. How do you go from there and have have so much hope that you're going to be able to change how people look at suicide?
I've done it before. I've done it in the Philippines where I did a huge media tour and I spoke to children and adults and I saved lives there. I know we'll save lives in Liberia. It's just a matter of someone being that light, coming in, sharing God's message. I mean, for someone to come all the way from America or someone to come all the way from another country, they have to care, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So we care, and we're coming there to educate and to remind people that there is hope, that there is a blessing coming their way, that it will get better. And it's not just me. I mean, Change Agent Network is there on the ground. It's a phenomenal organization. Bill Rogers Youth Foundation, they're all working hand in hand to rebuild a nation. They're building water wells to give running water. They're building schools. So now I'm bringing in the suicide prevention education to teach people how to prevent suicide and to teach them the compassion element.
Yeah.
So,
And, and I bring that up because it's interesting, because a lot of people will think, you haven't lived there, you don't know how to do this, but here's an individual who has done this before. She's experiencing what she's doing, and so if you want to be a part of it, maybe you can't make it there. Maybe you don't have the resource yourself to make it there, or you don't have the knowledge, or you don't have the desire. But you have someone here that has a desire and wants to go out there. So I would highly recommend that you go to the page and donate. And Sherrie, tell them what they can donate again to help you.
LiveOutLoudCharity.org. LiveOutLoudCharity.org.
And how much you need to raise?
I need to raise $7,000.
$7,000. I know there's enough people out there who have went through suicide, who are thinking about suicide, who know somebody who has thought about suicide, that can give something to help out. If we can just give, 7,000 or 100,000 people, not 100, 700. I went to public schools. So I don't know. 700 people give what about $100 or something like that? We can make it. 70,000 people. Give about $10. I don't know. Give something, give something to help out, and I'll get my math together a little bit later. But I want you all to realize that this is a very serious cause. That somebody needs to know that you care, and if it's just the money that you give to help someone to go out there, it shows that you care about someone. So if you had somebody in your family or you know that someone is going through this, I would highly recommend that you donate. And Sherrie, I'm going to do this over and over again. Give them where they can donate at.
LiveOutLoudCharity.org.
LiveOutLoudCharity.org. Baby, what you got?
I have a whole lot.
Oh, we'll get to it. We'll get to it, Preston. Go to your I'm going to let you talk about at least 5 minutes.
Okay, well, I'm going to go backwards forward.
Okay.
Do you believe everyone has a role in preventing suicide?
Absolutely, and I think that it should be mandatory in schools, suicide prevention training, and I think it should be mandatory in social work, and I think everybody should be trained. If everybody was trained, we wouldn't have a suicide problem. We wouldn't have a depression problem. People would know it's okay to get help, and what I mean by a problem is a silent problem.
Yeah.
Because so many people are suffering silently and they're feeling pain and not experiencing the joy in life. God wants you to be joyful. God wants you to love life and to wake up every day rejoicing in this life that He has given you. Life is a gift. And so if you're feeling all this pain and this sadness, you're not living your life to the fullest. So we don't want you to suffer silently. We want everyone to be trained in where to go for help. So many people say, I was suffering and I just didn't know where to call. I just didn't know where to go. I thought I was alone. And that's the biggest thing about Live Out Loud Charity is we educate people. Here's where you can call. Here's where you can go, and this is what you can do. And that's so much hope. It gives so much hope to people.
That is true.
Are you going to let me go?
Let me
slip on in here?
I'm trying to stop.
I know. Let me go on now.
Okay.
What are some suicide level risks that we need to know?
Now, what do you mean specifically by suicidal? Oh, okay, I know what you mean. You're wanting to know the urgency of the matter. Okay, so if there's a difference between suicidal thoughts and a plan to commit suicide. So this is a great question. When the person states that they're suicidal, if they do, whether they do or not, you need to ask them, do you have a plan?
Right.
Do you have a plan set in motion? Is it tomorrow? Is it tonight? Is it next Friday? Is it right now? Because if it's right now, it's urgent, and that means we need to call 911 perhaps. And yeah, they might get angry, but you know what? You just saved that person's life. Yeah. And there's so many times that we've had to call 911, and it has saved a person's life. Even a girl at work, we had to call 911. She wrote on Facebook, I'm going to end my life at work. They called, and they were to do the intervention right then and there. able to save her life. Just by training our models, because we use fashion to train people. We do fashion shows, we train our audience members. Our models